Welcome to Beyond Buzz. Deep beneath the surface of Lake Michigan, something ancient and mysterious is stirring, hidden from the eyes of those who sail or swim above. The water may seem calm, but below, forces are awakening that have lain dormant for millennia. For generations, we've seen the lake as a constant, its vast blue waters a source of life, commerce, and recreation. It's a place where families gather, ships traverse, and communities thrive along its shores. But beneath this familiar surface, the ground is shifting, more unstable and dynamic than we ever imagined. The lakebed, once thought to be solid and unchanging, is now revealing its secrets. Subtle tremors, almost imperceptible at first, have caught the attention of geologists and scientists who monitor the region. Initially, these faint vibrations were dismissed as mere background noise, just the Earth's usual hum, nothing to worry about. But as the months passed, the signals grew stronger and more frequent, forming a distinct pattern that traced through the lake's deepest and most mysterious parts. The accumulating data pointed to a startling truth. Lake Michigan sits atop a massive geological feature that is slowly awakening from its ancient slumber. Imagine a sheet of paper slowly tearing. At first the damage is invisible, a silent tension building. Then suddenly a rip appears, changing everything in an instant. That's what's happening to the bedrock beneath the lake. Cracks and fissures are forming, hinting at forces powerful enough to reshape the landscape. The ancient mid-continent rift, a colossal scar from Earth's distant past, long thought dormant, is now showing subtle but unmistakable signs of renewed activity. The ground is stretching, straining under immense pressure, and the weakest point is the very bottom of the lake, where water meets rock. This isn't a distant prediction or a far-off possibility. It's happening right now, beneath our feet and beneath the waves. We're witnessing a profound transformation, a slow-motion drama that could alter the lake and its surroundings for generations to come. The lake that has defined this region for thousands of years is changing at its very core, even as its beaches remain serene and its shores icy and still. The tranquil beauty above masks a geological drama unfolding below, a silent struggle between ancient rock and relentless forces. The tremor beneath the waves is a quiet warning, a subtle reminder that nature is always in motion, even when we cannot see it. Even the greatest lakes, vast and seemingly eternal, are subject to the relentless power of the earth. Forces that shape continents and carve out new futures. The world beneath our feet is never truly still. It is alive, restless, and always changing, reminding us that beneath the calmest waters, the story of our planet continues to unfold. Deep beneath the rolling fields and bustling cities of the Midwest lies a hidden scar, the Mid-Continent Rift System. This ancient geological wound stretches for more than 2,200 miles, silently running beneath the heartland, shaping the land in ways few realize. Over 1 billion years ago, immense forces within the Earth nearly tore North America in two. The continent was on the verge of splitting apart, forever changing the map of the world as we know it. Magma surged upward, fueling violent volcanic eruptions. Rivers of molten rock carved new landscapes, but in the end, the rift failed to divide the continent. Instead, it was buried beneath layers of sediment, hidden from view for eons. Over time, cities and farms flourished above this sleeping giant. Generations built their lives, never suspecting that the ground beneath them once threatened to reshape the continent, and could one day stir again. The rift faded from memory, becoming a relic of a forgotten era. Its presence masked by forests, fields, and the passage of time. But the earth never forgets. Its ancient scars remain, waiting for the right moment to remind us of their power. Tectonic pressures are always at work, deep below the surface. Old lines of weakness, like the mid-continent rift, are the first to feel the strain when the planet shifts. Imagine the rift as a crack in pottery. No matter how well it's hidden, it remains the most likely place to break when stress returns. Today, sensitive instruments reveal that this ancient crack is widening, ever so slowly, just millimeters each year, but enough to signal change. What was once thought dormant is now showing signs of life. The land is shifting, and the rift is awakening. This is rifting, the powerful geological process that, over millions of years, can tear continents apart and give birth to new oceans. Lake Michigan now sits at the earliest stage of such a monumental event, its waters quietly marking the boundary of a possible future ocean. The very foundation of the heartland is no longer as solid as we once believed. Cracks are appearing, both seen and unseen. A new crack is forming, running through one of the world's largest freshwater seas, hinting at changes that could reshape the region. These developments force us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about the Midwest's geology and its future stability. The land we once believed to be permanent and unchanging is in fact shifting beneath our feet, reminding us of the Earth's restless nature. The awakening of the Mid-Continent Rift is rewriting the story of the Midwest, revealing a dynamic landscape still shaped by ancient forces. Why is the rift awakening now? What forces are at play beneath the tranquil surface of Lake Michigan, causing such dramatic changes in the landscape? The answer lies in the relentless movement of the Earth's crust, shifting tectonic forces that have been building for millions of years. The North American plate is squeezed from both the east and the west, caught in a geological tug-of-war that exerts immense pressure on the land. For ages, these opposing forces balanced each other out, keeping the region stable. But now, the strain is finally finding a weak spot, a place where the crust can no longer hold. The Mid-Continent Rift, a billion-year-old scar hidden beneath the lake, is that vulnerable point. Stress is concentrating along this ancient fault line, accumulating energy that must eventually be released. The rock beneath Lake Michigan is stretching and thinning, a process geologists call crustal extension. This is not just a slow passive process, it's an active reshaping of the land. As the crust thins, the land above it begins to sink, deepening the lake's center and altering its very shape. A long, narrow valley known as a graben is forming along the rift, a dramatic sign of the Earth pulling apart. The thinning crust also allows heat from deep within the Earth to rise more easily, increasing geothermal activity and possibly even creating underwater hot springs or vents. Most telling of all is the rise in seismic activity. Small earthquakes or swarms are now frequent, signaling that the crust is under stress and beginning to fracture. These tremors are the unmistakable sound of the crust breaking and shifting, a warning that change is underway. Each quake, no matter how small, is another step in the ongoing transformation of the lake and its surroundings. Lake Michigan is no longer just a body of water. It is a dynamic, ever-changing landscape shaped by powerful geological forces. It's an active geological zone, splitting and evolving before our very eyes, a living testament to the restless nature of our planet. The science is clear. The rift is alive, and Lake Michigan is at the heart of this unfolding story. Geological forces are splitting Lake Michigan, but climate change is accelerating the process. The Great Lakes are on the front lines of a warming planet. Wild swings in water levels put immense stress on the crust below. When lake levels rise, the weight pushes down, triggering movement along fault lines. When levels drop, the crust rebounds, causing further shifts. These cycles weaken the rift, making it more prone to fracturing. Less ice cover means more powerful storms and waves, which batter the lake bed and add stress. The rift is being exercised by climate volatility. The result, a geological process that should take millennia, is now unfolding in decades. Climate change is pouring fuel on a billion-year-old fire. The lake's stability is being tested as never before. The Great Accelerator is reshaping the future of Lake Michigan. As the rift widens, Lake Michigan's shape will change dramatically. The center deepens while the edges rise, pushing water away from the current shore. Harbors could be left dry, beaches could expand into vast plains, wetlands and marshes would vanish, and lakefront property would be redefined. Exposed sediments contaminated by decades of pollution could create toxic dust storms. The speed of these changes is shocking. Shorelines are rising by millimeters each year. Sudden shifts like the recent uplift near Port Washington offer a glimpse of what's to come. The new coastline will be both bizarre and hazardous. The lake's transformation is devastating its ecosystem. Fish like trout and salmon may find new deep habitats, but these could become toxic and low in oxygen. Spawning grounds will be destroyed as shorelines shift. The entire food chain is at risk. Migratory birds will lose critical wetlands, forcing them to find new, uncertain routes. Recent fish kills and abandoned bird colonies are early warnings. The web of life is unraveling faster than species can adapt. These are not isolated incidents. They're the first signs of collapse. Lake Michigan's wildlife is on the brink. The splitting of Lake Michigan is a looming human catastrophe. Millions depend on the lake for water, industry, and recreation. Infrastructure, water intakes, shipping channels, power plants faces collapse as the shoreline shifts. The economic fallout would be massive. Manufacturing, agriculture, and tourism would all suffer. Property values would plummet, and local economies could spiral into depression. The Chicago slip of 2024 was a wake-up call. The lakefront subsided, flooding the city and damaging skyscrapers. Our cities are more vulnerable than we imagined. The cost of adaptation will be staggering. The human toll of this geological event is only beginning. We stand at a crossroads for the Great Lakes. The splitting of Lake Michigan is a crisis we can't ignore. Awareness is the first step. This story must move from science journals to public consciousness. We need better monitoring, more sensors, more data, more vigilance. Adaptation will require rethinking coastal management and infrastructure. Strategic retreat from high-risk zones may be necessary. Flexible engineering, floating intakes, adjustable ports will be vital. This is a challenge on the scale of the world's greatest engineering feats. Addressing climate change is now a geological imperative. The fate of Lake Michigan is a warning. Our actions echo deep within the earth.